There are so many lights available for filmmakers these days, it gets a bit overwhelming sometimes. What's the best choice for you? Tough question. So that's why today I'm going to show you the difference between a budget studio light with a huge softbox and a small LED panel with a small softbox, the Amaran P60X. Okay, let me start by saying this. You don't need an expensive lighting setup. My main setup here is the Godox SL60W with a 120cm softbox, and I think it was $250 for the whole setup, and you're good to go. I love the result, it looks great. But it's big, it's very big, especially that softbox. Even when you collapse it, it's not very portable. So, you know, maybe you're looking for something more portable, like this LED panel. This is the Amaran P60X, and it's an excellent LED panel. You can choose the color temperature, different lighting effects. There are some other cool features like the app, which you can use to control the light, and there's studio mode, for example. If all your lights in your studio are connected to one button, then it will also work with this light. It also takes batteries, so you can choose to connect to an outlet or use the batteries. It doesn't come with batteries, but you know, it's those big Sony, I don't know what number, I'll put it on the screen right now. It's also super bright for a small LED panel, let me show you. So this is 1%, and let's go to 100%. I'm gonna do it back there, so I don't blind myself. There, so that's 100%. So, you know, output power is no problem at all. But, you know, the thing is, it's an LED panel, so, oh god. If you use it just like this, without any accessories, then it won't look like my main setup here with the big softbox and the grid. But luckily, they included some accessories. There's a softbox. Obviously, it's a lot smaller, but it is a softbox, and there's also a grid. So I think we can make this light look really good too. Maybe not exactly the same as that one, but I think we can get some really good results with this one. Now, maybe the grid. Why do I use a grid? Well, that grid keeps the light from spilling on the background, because I want my background a little bit darker because I have some colored lights there, and if I don't use that grid, then the white light here will wash out the colors back there. So that's why I use a grid. You don't have to use a grid. If you use a white background, for example, it's not really necessary to use a grid. But anyway, let me switch to the Amaran P60X now, and let's see what it looks like. Take a last good look. This is my main setup, big softbox, grid, and Godox SL60W studio light. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the Amaran P60X. And it does look more contrasty, but that's because the softbox is a lot smaller. And that's the thing, if you want super soft light, you're gonna need a big softbox. The bigger the better, because a small softbox like this, it can't wrap the light around your face nicely. It's just too small. But we can make it look a bit less contrasty. And it's super simple. All you need to do is put a reflection panel on the other side. You just have to find something white. I have a white piece of cardboard here, and wait, let me show you. So this is without a reflection panel. Look at the dark shadows on this side of my face. And as soon as I put this white reflection panel here, it lights up the dark shadows on this side of my face, and the light looks a lot softer with, and this is without. It's a big difference. What you can also do, I saw in another video someone using an umbrella with this light, and that also makes a big difference. It makes the light a lot softer. And then a third solution, put a white sheet in front of the light. Or even better, first reflect the light onto something white so it bounces on you, and then put a white sheet in front of it. And then I think you have the most super soft light. Yeah, the best light. Just remember that if you're gonna put a white sheet in front of this and you're using a grid, then the grid is not gonna do as much. So you might get spill on the background. That's something you have to keep in mind. If you want the full force of the grid, you can't put anything in front of it. But, you know, it depends on the situation in your studio. So, what's the best choice for you? Well, that's difficult to say, you know? I mean, you can make this look really good, but you need to add some accessories, and you need to add some DIY, MacGyver, I don't know what, and then you can make it look really good. That's why I prefer to use LED panels like this in the background. I have one here, you can't see it, but I use it as a rim light to light the back of my head here and this side of my body, so that it gets a little rim. That's what I use those LED panels for. I don't like to use them as a key light because they're smaller and because it's a lot harder to make them look soft. It's a lot harder to make them look soft. So yeah, but all in all, it's a great light. I think both these setups, the LED panel or the studio light with the big softbox, they're great, they're worth buying. It just depends on, you know, do you need the portability or not? But I hope now that by showing you the difference between these two lights, that it'll make it easier for you to make a decision. Thank you so much for watching. I'll put the links to all these lights in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!